Hello, everyone. This is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Principles of Marketing at Ozarka College. Today, what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of feedback on the Chapter 6 and 7 activities that I finished grading yesterday. And then I'm going to remind you a little bit about the semester project and to be working on that. And then also, I'm going to go over with you the activities that we're going to have coming up due early next week. And then also I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the midterm exam that we have coming up due early next week. All right. So the first thing is, like I said, I did finish grading the Chapter 6 and 7 activities yesterday. Hopefully you've already gone in and looked at your grades for those and read the corresponding grading comments. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that as soon as you can. And let me know if you have any questions. Most of you did well on the Chapter 6 and 7 assignment. And like I always tell you, I really appreciate the time and effort that you're putting into the course. And so keep up the good work on that. Now, that being said, there were a couple of you who didn't answer all the assignment questions thoroughly. Either you skipped a part or skipped a whole question or didn't answer thoroughly, and so I had to count a few points off for that. If you're having problems with the assignments or understanding what needs to be included on the assignments, just let me know, and I'll be glad to help you. But other than that, the main thing I think is there are a couple of you that are waiting too late to get started on the assignment, and you're just having to kind of get what you can done before the due date. And that's not a good approach to take. The more time you give yourself to get it completed, the more time you have to look things up that you're not sure about, to ask me questions if you need help with anything, and I'm glad to help on anything that you have questions about. So, like I said, most of you did fine, did well on the assignment, but there are a couple of you that probably need to get started a little bit earlier. All right. The discussion that we had for Chapter 6 and 7 that dealt with eBay and online auction sites, I thought that went very well. I really appreciate everyone's participation on the discussion. I really enjoyed reading everyone's comments. So keep up the good work on the discussions. I'm really having fun with the discussions. Hopefully you are as well. The chapter test, most of you did well on that. Just as a reminder, I know I always remind you of this, but you can take those chapter tests as many times as you want to up until the due date. And your highest grade is automatically recorded. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right. And that brings us to what we've got coming up due next. So let's go to the activities page. And before I talk about what the chapter activities that we have coming up due next, let me go down to the semester project under week 14. And just a reminder, I know I've already talked about this a few times, but I think there are a couple of you that still haven't really gotten started on the semester project, and I just want to caution you that the sooner that you get started on the semester project, the better off you're going to be, because it may seem like a long way from now until April 22nd, but it's going to sneak up on you if you're not ready. So if you haven't already gotten started on that semester project, I would highly recommend doing so this week. Don't wait until the week that it's due or the day that it's due to get started, because you won't do well on it on the semester project because you won't be able to get everything completed correctly. So, and most of you are, I think, already started on that, but there are a couple of you that probably need to start on that and really have a plan for how you're going to get it finished by the due date. Okay, just the main thing there is don't let it sneak up on you. Don't wait too long and then have to just try to pull stuff together at the last minute, because you probably won't do well on it if you do that. So, like I said, as you're working on the semester project, if you have any questions at all, let me know, and I'll be glad to help with any questions that you have. Just send me a course mail, and I'll get back to you very quickly, and then you'll have the answers to any questions that you have related to the project. Okay? All right, so main thing there is I just wanted to remind you to be working on that. All right, and then so right now, if we go up a little bit closer to the top of the activities page here, right now we are on week 7 of the semester, so we are very closely approaching the midterm, the midway point of the semester. In fact, our midterm exam is going to be coming up early next week. So again, the semester goes by quick, so the sooner you can get started on these activities, the better. So and that kind of brings me to my point. Week 7, you notice there's nothing due this week, but there is work due the first day of week 8, next week. So the chapters 8 and 9, assignment, test, and discussion are all due by Sunday, March 9th, which is this coming Sunday. So you've got just a little under a week to be working and finishing up the chapters 8 and 9 activities. So if you haven't started on those, go ahead and do that today, and don't wait till Sunday, because you'll have other things going on Sunday and you may forget. So the sooner you can get started on those activities, the better. Now, let me tell you what we're going to be talking about in chapters 8 and 9. Starting with chapter 8, we're going to be looking at segmenting and targeting markets. So once you come up with your basic marketing plan, and you understand the marketing, the elements of the marketing mix, the next step is you've got to segment the market and then target each one of those segments with whichever product you are wanting to target with that particular product. And so especially larger businesses that have huge number of products in their product lines and product mixes, they will have different segments of the market that they want to target. And some of those segments are based on demographics, some are based on other criteria, but you'll basically in chapter 8 learn about those ways that you can segment and target various markets. So in chapter 8, you're going to learn about the criteria for segmentation. There's some things that you have to have in place as a business and as a part of the industry that you're in order to be able to effectively segment the market. So you'll learn about the criteria that you need to effectively segment a market. You'll learn about the basis for segmenting consumer markets, like demographics and other ways that you can segment markets, and you'll learn about all those in chapter 8. Also in chapter 8, towards the end of the chapter, you'll learn about some of the same things we learned about for the segmenting the consumer markets. In the beginning of chapter 8, you'll learn about how to segment business markets at the end of chapter 8. And there are different ways that different methods that you would use and different basis for segmenting business markets versus consumer markets. And then also, finally, at the end of chapter 8, we'll learn about the steps in segmenting a market. And then in chapter 9, that deals with marketing research. So in chapter 9, you're going to learn about the purposes of marketing research, the steps in conducting marketing research, the various types and methods of marketing research, and the impact that the internet has had on marketing research. So, when you're trying to come up with your marketing strategy and your marketing plan, it always is going to involve a high level of research, both primary and secondary research. And so you'll learn about all of that in chapter 9. Because you've got to study the market and the industry that you're operating in order to effectively market your product to your target market. So That's where Chapter 9 comes in. All right, so again, Chapters 8 and 9 activities are due by Sunday, March 9th. So be working on those this week, even though there's nothing due this week. You should still be working on the Chapters 8 and 9 activities, which are due the first day of next week. Okay? And then the other thing that you'll notice under week 8 of the semester is the midterm exam. And you'll notice it covers Chapters 1 through 9, which are basically all the chapters that we'll have covered by that point in the semester. And it is going to be available from March 10th through March 12th, which is Monday through Wednesday of next week. So it's coming up here pretty quick. Later on today, I will be sending you a course mail and also posting an announcement giving you more details about the midterm exam, as far as exactly how many questions, how much time you'll have. And the midterm exam is quite a bit different from the chapter test that we've had in that you'll only be able to take it one time and there will be a time limit. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. So in order to study for the midterm exam, you need to study the concepts that are covered on your chapter test. Don't study the questions, because the questions are going to be different. So study the concepts that are covered on the chapter test, and also use your textbook, PowerPoint slides, and the videos that I've linked on the assignment pages. All those resources can be used to study the concepts for the midterm exam. So like I said, later on today I will send out more information about the midterm exam, so be looking for that. And that's really all I have for you for today. So enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend, and I will talk to you again sometime later next week. Thank you.